Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between towering mountains, there lived a young man named Leo. Leo was not the strongest or the fastest, but he had a deep desire to change his life. He often watched the village elders who carried themselves with calm and confidence no matter what challenges they faced. Leo wanted that same strength, not in his muscles, but in his mind. One day, Leo heard about an old sage who lived high in the mountains. People said this sage had mastered the art of the mind. No fear, no doubt, just pure focus. Determined to learn, Leo packed a small bag and began the long climb up the rocky path. The journey was hard. The air grew thin, the winds howled, and more than once Leo thought about turning back. But he kept going, step by step. When he finally reached the sage's cave, he found an old man sitting peacefully by a fire. The sage looked at Leo and smiled. "Why have you come?" he asked. Leo took a deep breath. "I want to build an unstoppable mindset," he said. "I want to be strong no matter what life throws at me." The sage nodded. "Then you must learn the 3 pillars of the unstoppable mind: discipline, perspective, and endurance." The sage began with discipline. "Every great mind starts with control," he said. "Most people are ruled by their emotions: anger, fear, laziness. But discipline means acting not because you feel like it, but because it is right. Start small. Wake at the same time every day, no matter how tired you are. Finish your tasks before you rest. Train your mind like a muscle. It will grow strong." Leo listened carefully. The next morning, he woke before sunrise, even though his body begged for more sleep. He forced himself to do his chores without complaint. At first, it was painful. His mind fought him, making excuses. But as days passed, the resistance faded. He began to feel a quiet power growing inside him. Next, the sage taught him about perspective. "Most suffering comes not from events, but from how we see them," the sage explained. 2 men can face the same storm. One sees disaster. The other sees a challenge. The difference is in their minds. He told Leo to practice reframing every hardship. When rain ruined his firewood, Leo didn't curse the sky. He saw it as a chance to test his patience. When a rock cut his foot on the path, he didn't rage. He reminded himself pain was temporary. Leo realized his mind had always exaggerated problems, making them seem bigger than they were. With time, he learned to step back and ask, "Is this truly as bad as I think?" More often than not, the answer was no. Finally, the sage spoke of endurance. "An unstoppable mind does not mean a mind that never feels tired or afraid," he said. "It means a mind that keeps going despite those feelings. Life will test you. There will be days when everything goes wrong, when you question why you even try. On those days, remember, the strongest trees grow in the harshest winds." Leo put this lesson to the test sooner than he expected. One evening, as he gathered herbs near a cliff, the ground gave way beneath him. He tumbled down, landing hard on a ledge below. Pain shot through his leg. Night was falling, and no one knew where he was. Fear screamed in his mind, telling him he was finished. But then he heard the sage's voice in his memory: "Endure." Gritting his teeth, Leo dragged himself to a nearby overhang. He bound his leg with strips of his shirt. He knew panic would only waste his energy, so he focused on his breathing, slow and steady. The night was long and cold, but when dawn came, he crawled to the edge and shouted until a passing shepherd heard him. Back in the village, as his leg healed, people asked how he survived. Leo simply said, "I refused to let my mind quit before my body did." Months passed. Leo continued to practice the sage's teachings. He faced hardships, failed crops, losing loved ones, moments of deep doubt. But each time, his mind stood firm. He was not fearless, but he was unstoppable, because he had trained himself to act despite fear. One day, a traveler came to the village lost and weary. He spoke of bandits on the road, of bridges washed away by storms. The villagers were afraid, but Leo stepped forward. "We will find another way," he said. His calmness spread, and soon others joined him in searching for solutions. Years later, the village elders would say Leo had become like the sage in the mountains, steady, strong, unshaken by chaos. But Leo knew the truth. An unstoppable mindset was not something you were born with. It was something you built, day by day, through discipline, perspective, and endurance. And so, the story of Leo reminds us, the mind is the greatest tool we possess. It can be our worst enemy or our strongest ally. The choice is ours. Train it well, and no force in this world can truly stop you. The end.